Hello everybody, and welcome to iLive Life and Purpose. This is Michael Charles. I want to welcome you and tell you, hey, you are in the right place, right? Today we're going to cover the topic, how to take control of your financial future, right? We're going to cover 5 steps on how to do that. Now, if you haven't already, please take some time to hit the subscribe button and of course hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I go live or upload a new video. For those of you who are new to this channel, again, my name is Michael Charles from leadingwithintent.com, where I share insights, strategies, and of course tips on intentional living, secrets to mastering the essentials of life, money, and relationship. So back to today's session, right? We're going to cover how to take control of your financial future. And I'm going to do that in 5 steps. I mean, when you think about it, right, many people have problems. They're struggling because of their financial situations. And for those of you who did not get to watch my last 2 videos, I encourage you to go back and watch it, because in those videos I covered myths of money that keeps most people stuck. If you don't think you have any myths of money that's preventing you from moving forward and actually taking control of your life, go back and watch that video. I guarantee you, you'll find something that will give you, will require that you take a moment to pause and think about that. Okay? And then last week I shared a session on the importance of creating multiple streams of income. It is very important that you understand the different types of streams of income that you can create in order for you to ensure a stable and frankly a financial future that your future self will thank you for. So today we're going to cover how to take control of your financial future and of course solidify your financial position in 5 steps. Money is the cause of stress for a lot of people, right? Without money, options are very limited. Right? I mean, when you think about it, right? When you don't have money, you have to choose from a very limited options with regards to where you can get your food, with regards to where you live, with regards to where you go to school, with regards to how you eat in your own home, right? Money, and I say this all the time, money gives you options. That's all it is. I know a lot of people, the topic of money gets them uncomfortable, right? The topic of money gets them uncomfortable. And yes, I understand why, because we've been raised to feel that money is the root of all evil, when in fact it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And frankly, money only reveals your true selves to you, right? If you were egocentric, if you were evil, money will reveal that. But money itself is a tool that can be used for good or bad, right? It's just a matter of how do you choose to use it. So when you eliminate your money problem, right, you eliminate a lot of stress and a lot of negative energy in your life. I mean, you feel like you can breathe again, right? A lot of people get sick, right? And frankly, they get sick of being sick and tired of having to worry about money. Research shows that only 39% of Americans have $1,000 in savings that they can use in an emergency. I mean, that's over 60% of the population who would not know what to do in case of an emergency. I mean, I don't know about you, but to me, that's hard, right? I mean, when emergency hit, and frankly, none of us know when an emergency is going to hit, because if we knew, we would have prepared for it, right? That's why it's called emergencies. So I want you to be able to live a life where not only you have options, but you can have some peace of mind, right? You can have some peace of mind, and frankly, you can enjoy some other beauties and some other nice things in life. Now, remember, right? When good people have money, they do also one thing, right? They add value, they make a difference. And so, right, as you take care of yourself, you'll make a difference in the world as well. And that's what I'm advocating for today, right? So some of those people that have $1,000, or maybe that do not have $1,000, they are so far in debt most of the time, they cannot even borrow money to take care of the emergencies that they have in life. I mean, frankly, most of us need a financial health check, right? Most of us need a financial health check because we don't do these 5 things I'm going to share. We have all these myths of money that is frankly keeping us stuck in our current condition. I mean, how can you attract something that you hate, right? We all say we want more money in our life so we can have more options, but we have some deep-seated beliefs that prevents us from being able to attract that kind of money in our life. So today I want to share these 5 things with you, 5 things you can begin to do right away to start taking control of your financial future. Okay? And the first one is to understand what is in your credit report and what makes up your credit score. Now, having credit is an essential factor to building wealth, right? And if you're not aware of what's hurting you in your credit, you'll never have an opportunity to fix it. And most of us are, frankly, overpaying interest to banks and other financial institutions at 15, 20, even 30%. And all of that for no other reason than having a bad credit history. Now, listen, all of us at some point or another may have had an issue, right? The idea is not to stay there, not to rent space there. And frankly, a poor credit will prevent us from being able to do a lot of great things in life, right? If you have poor credits, you can't buy a home. If you have poor credit, you can't buy a car. Now you can, but you need cash, right? You need cash. And frankly, I could bet, I'm not a betting man, but if I were a betting man, I could bet that if you have poor credit, you probably do not have a whole lot of cash to buy a car cash or a house cash, except for the rare exceptions, right? We do have those. Now, my goal here is to make sure you understand that this is a part of your financial future, of your financial health that you can't neglect, right? In the past, I've had my own struggles with this, right? Again, I'm still learning how to better manage these things, because every time you think you've learned it, every time you think you've gotten to a certain level, then you have a misstep that could negatively hit your credit score, right? That could have a negative impact on your credit score, I mean. So let me share these 5 things with you, right? These are 5 categories that make up your credit score that most lending institutions use as a measure when loaning you money. The first one is timely payments. Timely payments, making timely payments to your cards, make up 35% of your credit score. That's the highest, right? It makes up 35% of your credit score. That's the highest percentage of all the categories. So if you are behind on payments, you're going to take a big hit on your credit score. The second category is credit utilization. Credit utilization essentially is how much of your credit are you using. If you have a credit card that has $10,000, you use $5,000 of it, you're using 50% of it, right? That's as simple as it is. Now, I think that the sweet spot is somewhere around 15-20%. Some people will tell you 30, but 15-20% of that, I think, is the sweet spot. Now, you can use more of that, but be sure you pay it off before the end of the cycle. So really, your balance will never go above that. But again, just understanding that credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score is huge. Now, if you take on-time payments and credit utilization, those two combined makes up 65% of your credit score. Now, I don't know about you. If you want to improve your credit score, those two are great section, or two of the great areas for you to start working on. Okay, so credit utilization, and of course, we're talking about on-time payment. Now, the third category that makes up, that really is a factor in your credit score, is the length of your payment history, right? That is how long is your payment history? How long is your credit report? Is your credit has your credit been established for 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, 7 years? Again, the length of your credit history has a lot to do with your credit score as well. And that makes up 15% of your credit score. Now, the fourth one is the number of accounts that you have opened within the past 2 years. When you have a lot of account open recently, the financial institution, the credit score methodologies, and frankly the framework that they use takes that into account, and that accounts for 10% of your total credit score, right? The number of accounts that you've had open over the past 2 years. And finally, the last categories that adds up, or factor that adds up to your credit score, is how many hard inquiries have you had recently. And usually it's, of course, during that 2 years period as well. And that also accounts for 10% of your total credit score, right? That's 10% of that goes to the number of hard inquiries that you have. Now, we have to make a difference between hard inquiries and soft inquiries. Like soft inquiries, those are, for instance, I think in the old days, people used to call it, still say that it counts against your credit, but soft inquiries don't really count against your credit, right? Those are, checking to see if you things like pre-qualification. Some of the times, right? Those are soft inquiries. There may be other ones, but those are not accounts that you've opened, to credit card accounts that you've opened. So something for you to keep in mind: if you have a lot of inquiries in your credit report, it's going to count against you. Although the number is small, it's 10% of your total score, but it adds up. So if you wanted to prioritize this, and earlier this week I had a coaching session with one of my coachee, and I actually talk about prioritizing, right? Prioritizing which one of those five categories you can start working on right away. Not that I'm saying you should neglect the other ones, but the top two, right? The one that makes 35 and 30%, if you can focus your attention on that, that would help you greatly. And then, of course, the other 15 and 10%, those you can work out as you go. Now, you can frankly access your credit history and your credit score for free on a yearly basis. Now, I don't know how many people knows this, but this is something that legally you are allowed to see what's on your credit report and what your credit score is for free. And you get access to that once per year. And you can do so through freecreditreport.com, right? Once you have that report, then you can be aware of what's being reported and what action you can take. The website again is freecreditreport.com. You can get your free credit report there, right? It's free. You don't have to pay any money for it. If you get to a website that says you have to pay money, no, don't do it. That one is free. Once a year you get to have that. Now, you can review the data on your credit report and ensure that it's accurate. Now, if you find things that are not accurate, then you can really dispute those with the credit reporting agencies. All right, I know that's a lot. I covered a lot in the first step to, frankly, how to secure your financial future. Now I'm going to move on to the next step, and that is to create a budget and control where your money goes. right? Having a budget system. Now, frankly, I used to do that personally, and then most recently, I turned that over to my wife. She is actually very good at it, much better at it than I was, and frankly, very, very good at tracking where everything goes and what we're planning for the month, what's coming in, and it helps. It helps you see where your money's going. It helps you see where you're wasting money, and in a way, it helps you really take control of every dollar that you have. A budget system, I think most people who follow Dave Ramsey may have heard of this one. It's Every Dollar, right? That's an app. You can find it anywhere. But if you want my spreadsheet, the one I use, which you can use as a template, I can make that available to you. All you have to do is comment below and let me know if this is something that you'll be interested in having, right? Having a template for you to start tracking your finances, for you to essentially understand where are you leaking money. Okay, so that's that. Every dollar, or if you want my template, you can comment below. What you'll discover when you start doing this is to start developing a budget is that you're wasting a lot of money that you didn't even think about, right? And then you can start really controlling where your money goes and start paying down things you need to pay down for sure. And then really see where you can have, frankly, without a budget, it's hard. And tracking what you're spending, it's hard to know how much you have left over at the end of the month that you could put towards savings or do something else. Okay, remember last week in my session I talked about savings, right? It's not a bad thing. It's just that savings won't make you rich. But of course you need to have savings. Okay, so let's move on to the third category, right? And that is to spend less than you earn on a monthly basis. Now, your budget will help you understand whether you're spending less than you earn, right? Because that allows you to say, I have this much coming in, I have this much I'm spending. And when you're in the negative, it's gonna give you a dose of reality. It's gonna tell you, oh my gosh, you are running in the negative every month. And then you'll start thinking, no wonder I've been struggling, no wonder I've been so stressful, no wonder I've been behind in some of my bills. Because I'm always running behind, I'm in the red. There was a time when that was me. Right? I was running in the red every month, and the stress, of course, got get to you. I talked about that at the beginning of this live, right? The stress of not having enough to take care of your monthly obligations will catch up with you. And frankly, stress and worry gets you sick physically. Okay? They get you sick. So I'm encouraging you to not only put a budget together, but once you have that budget, learn to spend less than you earn. And an example is, I know we love to buy and drive nice cars. Instead of buying that brand new car from 2021, can you maybe find a 2018-19 certified car that you can use? Because when you buy a brand new car, you lose out equity right after you drive it off the dealer's lot, right? But if you buy a used one, you've essentially you're spending less, and you're still getting a good running car. And frankly, most of them looks brand new when they are certified anyway. So understand your limit. Understand how far you can go, right? Because once you stretch yourself too thin, that's when you start stressing yourself out, and you start really, frankly, getting to a point where even your mental health may be at risk. Okay? Now, the fourth step here is, and I talked about that last week, where I talked about the 7 different types of streams of income that you could create. Now, remember I said pick 1 or 2 to work on. Frankly, the optimal way to do this, if you already have earned income, which most people do have, right? That's going to work for somebody else and getting a paycheck, right? I would just encourage you to focus on one other stream of income, right? Once you have that set up and in place, then you can start focusing on another stream of income. But if you don't want to burn out, my recommendation is have your first major stream of income that supports you financially and helps to take care of your basic needs, then focus on your second stream of income, right? And then eventually, once you have that stabilized, then you can focus on your third stream of income. But at least at a minimum, for you to live comfortably and for you not to have to worry about all these different bills and things, and actually have options, right? Being able to choose whether you want to go to a fancy restaurant or just go to to a fast food place like McDonald's. I mean, nothing against McDonald's. I eat McDonald's myself. But my point is, when you really want to, when you really feel like you want something much nicer, you want to treat a friend or a significant other to a really nice place, then yeah, you can do that. So create at least 2 to 3 diverse streams of income. And frankly, passive income, not streams of income that requires you to spend all of your time there, and eventually when you don't spend your time there anymore, you don't make any more money. That's essentially still trading your time for dollars, which is not going to get you to financial security, because whenever something happens to you, that money's gone, and you don't want that to be the case. Number 5, and this, I did my best to list these in order of importance, because I knew some of these things you can't do until you've done the one before that. So after you've created those 2 to 3 additional streams of income, then now you can start saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses, almost like emergency funds. Right? I call it supplemental funds that would keep you afloat should your primary source of income is prematurely eliminated. Of course, you know what I mean, right? If you have earned income and that's your first and primary source of income. If you get fired, if you get laid off, if for some reason something happened, you can't work anymore, right? Then you have that as a supplement to your income from those 2 to 3 different streams of income to help keep you afloat, so that at least you can take care of the basic necessities and take care of some of the things that you need to survive while you're doing your best to get back on track. Because frankly, if you are knee deep in debt, then this is something you should start thinking about, right? And that is, start saving, but also start paying down your debt. Frankly, I'd go as far as saying, stop paying down your debt, because they are the ones that gives you stress to begin with anyway. So I'd say skip these savings and start paying down the debt, so then you minimizing your outflow on a monthly basis, and your inflow is actually going to be higher than your outflow. That's essentially what we're striving for, right? Positive cash flow. Positive cash flow is money you have left over after you've spent everything else, right? I think I did a short video about residual income the other day, so feel free to go back and watch that as well. So the whole idea here is find ways to have breathing room for you to be able to live peacefully and have options from a financial from a financial security perspective. And frankly, this one here is a bonus I'm gonna give, and that is give away some money. Add it as a part of your budget, right? In order for you not to feel like you're blindsided. Plan your giving. You could actually plan your giving. And that actually helps you feel better and helps you, frankly, take care of one of these 6 major human needs that we have. So, make a plan to give. Make a plan to make a difference with your money, right? That's the bonus steps I'm giving you. And because this will, that's what will give you a sense of significance and fulfillment. The fact that you're able to make a difference in somebody's life right? If somebody's suffering, you can actually lend a hand. Or if you know people who are working and doing great things in the world, making a difference in people's life, you can actually make a difference by donating and giving them some money or some ways, some more means to do the work that they do. So that's it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And if you're new to this channel and you have gotten some value out of what I shared today, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I go live. And remember to claim your free gift at leadingwithintent.com to help you on your journey of discovery, growth, and becoming. And also follow me on Instagram at iLive.zone and on Facebook at Lead with Intent for daily inspiration. And until next time, my friends, honor your fire.
Someday soon I'm gonna make it. Yeah, our hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh,